Have you ever wondered if the man in your life truly cares about you? Or if you're just imagining things? Maybe he's not the type to say, "I love you" all the time. Or maybe he doesn't flood your phone with texts every hour. That doesn't mean he isn't deeply into you. In fact, some of the most genuine feelings are revealed not through grand declarations, but through subtle, almost invisible actions that speak louder than words ever could. The truth is, when a man is genuinely interested, his care shows up in ways you might not even notice at first. It's in the little gestures, the quiet attentiveness, and the consistent ways he prioritizes you, without making a show of it. He's the one who notices your mood before you speak, remembers the tiniest details about your life, and subtly adjusts his own to fit into yours. He doesn't need to post it on social media or tell everyone how much he cares. His interest is quiet, consistent, and deeply personal. Many women misinterpret silence or subtlety for indifference. They might look for obvious signs like constant calls, lavish gifts, or dramatic romantic displays, thinking that these are the only ways someone can truly care. But emotional intelligence, respect, and genuine affection often live in the small, almost invisible moments that only someone paying attention would notice. These subtle behaviors, like checking in quietly, watching your reactions, or making time for you without being asked, are far more telling than any public display ever could be. Over the next few minutes, we're going to dive into 15 subtle signs that reveal when a man is deeply into you. Each sign uncovers a layer of emotional depth, showing how he prioritizes you, values your comfort, and invests in your life without ever needing recognition. By understanding these quiet, powerful signals, you'll begin to see the true depth of his feelings and recognize the gestures that actually matter. Whether you're trying to figure out if someone's interest is real, or you just want to better understand the silent language of love, these signs will help you see past the surface and identify authentic emotional connection. From the way he listens more than he speaks to the moments when he mirrors your energy or stays calm during your emotional ups and downs, every action tells a story. And once you start noticing them, you'll realize that true care doesn't always shout. It whispers, observes, and shows up consistently. So if you've ever doubted whether he really likes you, or wondered if the subtle things he does are meaningful, this guide will open your eyes. Get ready to uncover the quiet but undeniable ways a man shows he's truly invested in you, often without ever saying a word. 1. He listens more than he speaks. When a man is deeply into you, his attention shifts from being heard to truly hearing you. Instead of dominating conversations or trying to impress you with stories, opinions, or achievements, he becomes genuinely present. He listens not just to respond, but to understand. His focus is on your words, your tone, and even what you hesitate to say. This kind of listening is quiet but powerful. It shows emotional investment. You may notice he doesn't interrupt you or rush the conversation. He lets you finish your thoughts, even when you pause or struggle to explain something. He asks thoughtful follow-up questions, not out of curiosity alone, but because he wants to see the world from your perspective. When you talk about your fears, frustrations, or dreams, he doesn't minimize them or turn the conversation back to himself. Listening more than speaking also means he values your inner world. He respects your emotions, even when he doesn't fully understand them. This behavior often comes from a place of care and admiration. He wants to learn who you are beneath the surface, not just enjoy your presence. In a world where many people listen only to reply, a man who listens to absorb is showing something rare. It's a subtle sign that you matter to him, that your voice holds weight in his life, and that he's emotionally opening space for you. This kind of listening builds trust, safety, and deep connection, often without a single romantic word being spoken. 2. He remembers small details about you. One of the clearest subtle signs a man is deeply into you is his ability to remember the little things. Not the obvious facts, but the small, seemingly insignificant details you once mentioned casually. Your favorite snack, a song you love, how you take your coffee, or something that once made you uncomfortable. These details stick with him because you stick with him. When he brings up these small things later, it's not accidental. It means he was paying attention when you spoke, even when you didn't realize it mattered. This kind of memory comes from emotional focus. His mind registers your preferences because they are important to him, not because he's trying to impress you. Remembering small details is also a form of quiet care. It shows he's thinking about you when you're not around. He might avoid topics you said upset you or surprise you with something connected to a past conversation. These actions often feel natural, not forced, which makes them even more meaningful. This behavior reflects emotional attachment. Our brains naturally prioritize what we care about. And when a man remembers your small details, it's because you've taken up space in his thoughts. It's his way of saying, "I see you," without ever saying it out loud. These moments may seem subtle, but over time, they create a deep sense of being valued and understood. And that feeling often matters more than grand gestures or dramatic declarations. 3. He makes time for you without being asked. When a man is deeply interested, he doesn't wait to be reminded or pushed to make time for you. He naturally creates space for you in his life. No excuses, no constant rescheduling, no vague promises. You simply find yourself included in his routine. This doesn't mean he's always available, but it means you're considered. He adjusts his schedule, checks in, or plans ahead so he can see or talk to you. The effort feels consistent rather than intense. You don't have to chase his attention because he offers it freely. What makes this sign subtle is that he doesn't announce it. He doesn't say, "Look how busy I am, but I still make time for you." He just does it. His actions quietly communicate that you matter. Even on stressful days, he finds a moment to connect, whether it's a message, a call, or a shared activity. Making time without being asked also shows emotional priority. It means he wants you in his life, not just when it's convenient, but as part of his normal world. You become someone he looks forward to, not someone he fits in last. This kind of effort builds emotional security. It tells you that his interest isn't temporary or conditional. He's choosing you consistently, without pressure or reminders. And often, that quiet consistency is one of the strongest indicators of genuine feelings. 4. He watches your reactions closely. A man who is deeply into you pays attention not just to what you say, but to how you respond, your body language, facial expressions, tone, and energy. He notices the little changes in your mood, the subtle flinch when something bothers you, or the sparkle in your eyes when you're excited. This isn't about control or manipulation. It's about understanding you on a deeper level. By observing your reactions, he learns how to make you feel comfortable, happy, or safe. He adapts his words and actions based on what he sees, often before you even say anything. For instance, if you hesitate at a topic, he might change the subject gently. If he sees you light up at a story or compliment, he remembers that for the future. This behavior shows emotional intelligence and care. He's emotionally invested enough to pick up on subtle cues that most people would miss. He doesn't just hear your words. He reads the space around you and your emotional signals. It's his way of tuning into your inner world. Watching your reactions closely is a silent form of intimacy. It tells you that you matter to him enough that he wants to understand how you feel in every moment. Over time, this creates a sense of being seen and appreciated, an unspoken connection that goes far beyond words. 5. He adjusts his plans to include you. One of the clearest subtle signs of interest is when a man rearranges his schedule or priorities to make space for you. He doesn't treat your presence as optional or secondary. Even if he has work, friends, or personal commitments, he finds a way to include you in his life. This isn't about grand gestures or over-the-top sacrifices. It's about the small, consistent choices that show he values your company. Maybe he reschedules a meeting, joins you for an activity he wouldn't normally choose, or blocks time just to be with you. The key is that he doesn't complain or make you feel guilty. He does it willingly. Adjusting plans is also a sign of respect. It shows he considers your feelings, interests, and needs in his decision-making. You're not someone to fit in. You're someone he actively integrates into his life. This consistent effort demonstrates that you hold emotional significance for him. Over time, these small adjustments communicate far more than words could. They quietly signal that he wants you in his everyday life, not just occasionally or casually. When a man consistently adapts his life to include you, it's a strong indicator that is deeply invested in you emotionally. 6. He checks on you quietly. A man who cares deeply will check on you without fanfare or expectation of attention. These are not dramatic gestures or constant texts, but subtle, thoughtful actions that show his thinking about your well-being. He might send a short message to see if you got home safely, casually ask how your day went, or notice if you're tired or stressed and offer support. Quiet checking demonstrates emotional presence. It's about caring for you without needing acknowledgement. He doesn't do it for recognition or to impress anyone. He does it because your safety, mood, and happiness genuinely matter to him. This kind of behavior often goes unnoticed by people who expect overt signs of affection. But over time, these small acts build a strong sense of security and trust. You feel valued and considered, even without grand declarations. When a man consistently checks on you quietly, it shows he prioritizes you emotionally. He's invested enough to notice patterns in your life and respond thoughtfully. These subtle gestures reflect deep affection and signal that his interest isn't superficial. It's grounded in care, respect, and genuine attention. 7. He protects your name when you're not around. A man who is deeply into you doesn't just care about how you feel in front of him. He also safeguards your reputation when you're absent. He avoids gossiping or sharing your private moments with others, and he corrects misconceptions if someone misrepresents you. This subtle behavior shows respect, loyalty, and emotional investment. Protecting your name is more than just defending you. It's a reflection of how he values your character. He treats your privacy with care and ensures that others see you the way he sees you, with admiration and respect. Even small gestures, like speaking positively about you in casual conversations, indicate he holds you in high regard. This habit also reveals trust. He trusts you enough to honor your boundaries and expects the same integrity from himself. When someone criticizes or disrespects you, his response is measured but firm, often done quietly so as not to create conflict. Over time, this silent loyalty communicates safety and emotional security. You can feel confident that your personal dignity matters to him. Protecting your name is a subtle yet powerful sign that a man is emotionally invested. He cares about how you are perceived and wants to ensure you are always respected, even when you're not there to see it. 8. He feels affected when you pull away. One of the most revealing subtle signs of deep interest is when a man is emotionally affected by even minor distance or withdrawal from you. He notices when your energy shifts, when your messages are delayed, or when you seem quieter than usual. These small changes can stir concern, longing, or unease in him because he genuinely values your presence. Feeling affected doesn't mean overreacting or pressuring you. Instead, he experiences a subtle emotional ripple when you pull away, an internal awareness that something important is missing. He may become more attentive, reflective, or patient as he processes his feelings, showing that you occupy a significant space in his heart and mind. This behavior demonstrates attachment and emotional sensitivity. It signals that your connection matters enough for him to notice, internally respond, and consider how he can maintain closeness without overwhelming you. The subtlety lies in the balance. He feels deeply but respects your autonomy. Over time, this pattern becomes a quiet indicator of emotional depth. When a man is affected by your absence, it shows he isn't indifferent or casual. He's invested, attentive, and emotionally tuned to your presence. It's a silent acknowledgement that you matter more than casual interactions, highlighting the depth of his feelings. 9. He mirrors your energy and habits. A man who is deeply into you often unconsciously reflects your energy, gestures, and habits. This mirroring can include speech patterns, posture, mannerisms, or even ways of expressing emotions. It's not imitation. It's a psychological sign of rapport and emotional alignment. Mirroring occurs because humans naturally synchronize with people they are emotionally connected to. When a man mirrors you, it indicates he is engaged on a subconscious level, attuned to your rhythm, and seeking harmony. It's his way of expressing connection without words. This behavior can also extend to shared interests or routines. He may adopt hobbies, preferences, or habits you enjoy, not to copy you, but to strengthen the sense of shared experience and closeness. Over time, these small alignments create subtle but deep intimacy. Mirroring shows empathy and emotional investment. By reflecting your energy, he validates your emotions, creates comfort, and signals that he feels in sync with you. It's one of the quietest yet most powerful signs that a man is not only interested but emotionally attuned, building a silent bond that often communicates more than words ever could. 10. He supports your goals without seeking credit. A man who is deeply into you will actively support your ambitions and dreams, but he does so quietly, without expecting recognition or praise. He doesn't broadcast his help or make it about himself. Instead, he finds ways to encourage your growth, provide guidance, or offer assistance behind the scenes. This subtle support shows genuine care because he prioritizes your success over his ego. He celebrates your achievements sincerely and may even remind you of your strengths when you doubt yourself. He doesn't compete with you or diminish your accomplishments. He wants you to shine because he values your happiness and personal fulfillment. Supporting your goals without seeking credit also demonstrates patience and selflessness. He invests time, energy, and thought into your growth without needing validation. This builds trust and creates a safe space where you feel encouraged to pursue your passions fully. Over time, these quiet actions communicate something profound. He sees your potential, believes in you, and wants to contribute to your life in meaningful ways. Unlike grand gestures, this form of support is subtle, consistent, and emotionally resonant, a clear sign that his interest is both genuine and long-term. 11. He feels comfortable in silence with you. A man who is deeply into you doesn't feel the need to fill every moment with words or activity. He enjoys your presence so much that silence becomes comfortable, even meaningful. This indicates a strong emotional bond and genuine ease with who you are. Being comfortable in silence shows that he doesn't rely on verbal conversation to feel connected. Instead, he appreciates shared moments of quiet reflection, walking together, or simply sitting side by side. The lack of forced chatter is a sign that he values presence over performance, and that your company alone is fulfilling. This behavior also reflects emotional maturity. He respects the space between you and understands that connection isn't measured by constant communication. He can sense your moods, absorb the atmosphere, and simply be present without pressure. Over time, these silent moments create a profound intimacy. They communicate trust, comfort, and alignment in ways words often cannot. A man who can share silence with you without awkwardness or distraction demonstrates that he is emotionally invested and deeply attuned to your presence. 12. He includes you in his future conversations. When a man is genuinely interested, he naturally incorporates you into his plans and conversations about the future. He speaks of upcoming events, goals, or ideas in ways that assume your presence or input. This subtle behavior reflects emotional attachment and foresight. Including you in future conversations shows that he envisions you as part of his life long-term. It's not about making promises or declarations. It's about the way he mentally maps his world with you in it. From planning weekend activities to discussing career or life goals, he considers how you fit into his life trajectory. This habit is a quiet signal of care and commitment. It demonstrates that your thoughts, feelings, and preferences are valued and that he seeks alignment with your life. You start to notice patterns where he naturally consults you, involves you in decisions, or imagines shared experiences, all signs of emotional investment. By consistently including you in his future-oriented conversations, he communicates stability, thoughtfulness, and a desire for closeness. It's a subtle but powerful way of showing that you matter deeply, long before any words like "I care" are spoken. 13. He prioritizes your emotional comfort. A man who is deeply into you instinctively considers your emotional well-being in every interaction. He notices when you feel anxious, stressed, or overwhelmed and adapts his behavior to help you feel safe and supported. He doesn't dismiss your feelings or make you feel guilty for expressing them. Instead, he responds with patience, empathy, and understanding. Prioritizing your emotional comfort doesn't require grand gestures. It's in the small things, a gentle tone of voice, checking if you need a break, or simply giving you space when necessary. He senses your needs without you having to spell them out, and he acts in ways that make you feel cared for and respected. This subtle focus demonstrates emotional intelligence and maturity. He values your inner world as much as your external presence, showing that your happiness and peace matter deeply to him. Over time, these consistent acts of consideration create a sense of safety and trust. When a man prioritizes your emotional comfort, he signals that is invested in more than just surface-level attraction. He's building a connection that nurtures you emotionally, creating a foundation of respect, care, and stability, a quiet but profound expression of love and commitment. 14. He shows consistency instead of intensity. One of the most telling signs of deep interest is a man who demonstrates steady, reliable attention rather than short bursts of dramatic intensity. He doesn't overwhelm you with flashy gestures, excessive messages, or erratic behavior. Instead, he shows up consistently, day after day, in ways that matter. Consistency builds trust and emotional security. When a man is present in thoughtful, predictable ways, it communicates that his interest is genuine and sustainable. He doesn't need to prove his feelings through extremes. His steady presence speaks louder than any temporary intensity could. This approach also reflects emotional stability. It shows he respects your life, routines, and space. He avoids the emotional roller coaster that often accompanies superficial attraction, choosing instead a calm, reliable form of care that strengthens the bond over time. By showing consistency instead of intensity, he creates a dependable, nurturing environment in which emotional connection can grow. This subtle behavior often goes unnoticed in the moment, but becomes profoundly meaningful over weeks and months, signaling that his feelings are serious, considered, and enduring. 15. He stays calm during your emotional moments. A man who is deeply into you remains grounded when you experience emotional highs or lows. He doesn't react with frustration, judgment, or impatience. Instead, he maintains calmness, listens attentively, and provides steady support. This behavior shows emotional maturity and genuine care. Staying calm during your emotional moments allows you to express yourself freely without fear of criticism or rejection. He absorbs your emotions with empathy rather than reacting impulsively. Whether you're upset, anxious, or overjoyed, he matches your energy with patience, showing that your feelings matter more than the discomfort or challenge they might present. This calmness is subtle but powerful. It signals that he is emotionally present, reliable, and capable of managing difficult situations without letting his own insecurities interfere. You can feel safe being your authentic self around him, knowing he won't withdraw or lash out. Over time, this consistent composure fosters trust and deep connection. A man who can remain calm and supportive during your emotional moments demonstrates that his interest isn't superficial. It's rooted in understanding, respect, and a profound emotional commitment to you.